So even though I'll probably be uploading these videos in quick succession, they're actually shot, a couple hours apart. It's like 1:30 or so right now. Playing around with everything, and I was able to get it extruding, and, little filaments at a time. So there are a bunch of them. Well, not this, but large amounts of something like that. Because kind of hit a snag, which has to do with the extruder. So I don't know how well this will come out on camera, but basically, if you were a filament, this is what you would see shortly before becoming a product. So you have a hot bolt in there, which is literally just a bolt here, and down in the middle there, it's had these grooves cut into it. It's attached to this gear, which drives it, to this gear, to this stepper motor, and that's what grips the filament and pushes it down in that hole there, which, if you were to follow that hole down, you end up in here, which is the actual nozzle, the hot end, and there's a massive resistor in there, which just gets really, 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 really warm, and there's a little thermal cup over there, and it all comes dripping out there. Unfortunately, for some reason, my filament is being eaten by the hot bolt. We're going to find a good example of it. This one's not that good of an example, but you can see it'll start going along, and then that happens. And it stops extruding at this point. The hot bolt just sits there and spins. Unfortunately, this could be all sorts of problems. If you look at this particular setup, I've got these two bearings here. Well, that bearing's more for the bolt, but you see how the filament goes in there. This hinge would be normally up like that. I doubt this will focus. Oh, there we go. And you can see how this bearing can kind of float, and you can adjust how much it goes in there with. It would normally be 2 screws like this, and positioned like that, and that spring would provide some degree of tension in that floating bearing there. So the problem could be that it's too tight and it's pushing the filament too hard into the hot gear or hot bolt, and that's causing it to eat away at it. Or it could be too loose, which is causing it to slip, and then it slips and digs away a little, and then it digs away even more because it can't regain the traction. Or it could be that there's something in the hot end, which I really hope it isn't, because that means I have to take everything apart. And that could just be like, there could be a blockage, so the filament's trying to go down, and then something causes the filament to pause, which makes the hot bolt eat away at it or something. Nothing that I could read up on suggested one random theory I just came up with, which is that it might have to do with a slight misalignment from the hole, the filament hole in the hot gear. Come on, focus, camera. Okay, well, it refuses to focus. It focused there for a moment, but you can kind of see how it's not dead center. It's slightly off. So I'm thinking the filament tries to get pushed down by the hot bolt, and as it's going down, it's briefly catching the edge and getting stuck and dug into by the edge of the circle. I mean, I'm hoping it's that, because I can just Dremel the hole out and make it a little bit bigger, and everything will be fine. Though even though it still involves taking apart everything, the main reason I don't want to take everything apart is because of the electronics, well, the wiring right in the back there. One can only hope. But I'm going to fiddle with that tomorrow, because I got the X and the Y and the Z and everything calibrated, which is all the math sitting over here. And yeah, if you catch this, I have a cold at the moment, so I sound kind of weird. Yeah, I fully expected this. This was going to be, building was going to be several hours, you know, more like days, but I knew that calibration was going to be an incredibly arduous process. And I have this really kind of mock filament spindle reel thing. That was one thought I had. Maybe the position of the filament was like too stiff and it was pushing or pulling the filament into the hot gear. Maybe considering the positioning, it would be kind of tugging on it in this direction, and the hot bolt's over here. I don't know. That seemed kind of weird, because the reason I cut up this section was so I could feed it in kind of manually and orient it any way I want, and it still dug into it. So this has bits chewed out of it there, but it's got bits chewed out of it on the other side as well, because I was rotating it, trying to unhook it, and it successfully worked briefly, and then it just started eating away again. But it's all a learning process, and I'll figure it all out, and I'll be printing awesome little pieces of plastic. Yeah, and the power supply seems to be handling everything okay. So the lights flicker when I turn it on, which is kind of funny. But I haven't kicked a breaker, so because I know some of the breakers in our house actually kick over at 20 amps, and this is actually sharing a wall socket with a lamp at the moment. So I'm wondering what the breakers are rated for in this apartment. I have no idea. And then my entire computer setup is all plugged into one outlet down over there. I'm assuming those are on completely different circuits, because 20 amps plus this, and I don't know what a light bulb is. It can't be that much. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Look forward to making more videos about it, especially time-lapse videos. And I hope you look forward to it as well.